Jay-Z is taking legal action against his rape accuser.
New this morning, Jay-Z is hitting back against the woman who claimed he raped her when she was 13 years old.
Scandals and Hollywood are like best pals. They can never do without each other. But you see this Jane Doe scandal? It might end up being one of the most brutal we've seen in the entertainment industry in a while. Jay-Z, one of rap's most untouchable icons, was hit with a career-ending accusation. The kind of claim that could destroy legacies, cost millions, and change everything. But now, the story is falling apart. A private investigator says the whole thing was a lie. And Jay-Z? He's fighting back, albeit with lawsuits. He can't stand Tony Busby, the lawyer behind the case, and he's invested in making an example out of him. But will he? Well, let's get into it.
The new suit also names the woman's attorneys, claiming they were soullessly motivated by greed to extort payments from the rapper.
It all started in October 2023 when a woman, identified only as Jane Doe, dropped a bombshell lawsuit against Diddy. She claimed that back in the year 2000, he assaulted her at an after-party. Now, Diddy facing a lawsuit? At this point, that's nothing new. The man has been drowning in legal drama for months. But here's where things get very, very interesting. The lawsuit also mentioned a mystery man, a shadowy figure only referred to as Celebrity A. No name, no hints, just a cryptic reference to another powerful man in the industry allegedly involved in something vulgar. For weeks, people speculated with questions like, who was Celebrity A? Was it just a legal smokescreen? And then, out of nowhere, the nuclear bomb dropped. And just like that, Jay-Z's name was attached to the case. Suddenly, he wasn't just a bystander. He was being accused.
This lawsuit originally named Diddy as the defendant, but then it was refiled yesterday and now also names Jay-Z. But the music mogul is coming out swinging, saying in a statement,
social media exploded. Headlines were everywhere. News outlets ran with it like it was the biggest scandal of the decade. And let's be real, this was huge. Jay-Z isn't just any rapper. He's a billionaire, a business mogul, and hip-hop royalty. Seeing his name tangled up in something this dark, it was shocking. By December, Jay-Z finally broke his silence. He publicly denied everything, called the claims false, and tried to shut it all down. But here's the thing. When a scandal this big catches fire, it's almost impossible to put it out. The damage was already done. The accusations were out there, the internet was running wild, and people started digging deeper. But here's where things get crazy. By February 2024, after 2 intense months of legal back and forth, media storms, and endless speculation, something nobody saw coming happened. Jane Doe dropped the case.
Jane Doe has dropped her case.
No trial, no settlement, no explanation, just gone.
Attorneys for Jane Doe filed a voluntary notice of dismissal with prejudice, which means that she cannot refile this case in the future.
Now, for most people, this would have been the end of the story. Jay-Z's lawyers wasted zero time celebrating, immediately calling it proof that the allegations were completely false. They painted it as an open and shut case. A woman who made baseless claims, got caught, and quietly backed off before things got worse. But hold on, because not everyone was buying it. Jane Doe's lawyer, Tony Busby, yes, the Tony Busby, the same high-powered attorney who took on Deshaun Watson's case, was not letting this slide. He came out swinging, claiming that Jane Doe didn't drop the case willingly. She was threatened into silence. Now, that's a heavy accusation. He didn't give details, no receipt, no hard proof, just a chilling statement that suggested something much darker was happening behind the scenes. So now, the big question was, did Jay-Z win because the case was bogus? Or did something else force Jane Doe to back off? Either way, it looked like the battle was finally over. Except it wasn't. Because just when everyone thought Jay-Z would lay low and move on, he did the exact opposite. He went on the attack. Instead of keeping quiet and letting the scandal fade away, he went nuclear. Jay-Z sued Jane Doe, her lawyers, and basically everyone involved. And we're not talking about a slap-on-the-wrist lawsuit. He came for blood.
Lawyers for Jay-Z have filed a defamation lawsuit against the anonymous woman and her lawyers who accused Jay-Z of rape, saying they knew the allegations were made up.
His legal team accused them of extortion, claiming they manufactured a fake scandal to destroy his reputation and shake him down for millions. Jay had always made it clear how much he detests Tony Busby, and now that the opportunity to deal with him finally came up, no way was he going to miss it. It looks like Busby has finally poked the tiger. And just when people thought it couldn't get any wilder, out of nowhere, private investigators got involved in this drama. And that's when the real bombshells started dropping. According to one PI's explosive report, Jane Doe had allegedly admitted that she lied about Jay-Z's involvement. The PI revealed she had a sit-down with her in her home, and she openly admitted she had made up the story. Not the Diddy part, though. It's the Jay-Z's part she concocted. And if that wasn't shocking enough, it gets even messier. The report also claimed that Jane Doe admitted that her own lawyer, Tony Busby, encouraged her to drag Jay-Z into the lawsuit. That's right. If this was true, it meant this wasn't just some woman making up a story. This could have been a full-blown setup. And just like that, Tony was caught in the crossfire directly. Jay-Z wasn't just fighting to clear his name anymore at this point. According to him, he was out to expose the entire operation.
Jane Doe dropped her sexual assault lawsuit against Jay-Z last month without any public explanation. Jay-Z says that she and her lawyers have since admitted those allegations were fabricated. Jane Doe's lawyer, Tony Busby, is denying that.
The moment Jay-Z dropped his counterattack, you already knew the other side wasn't going to take it quietly. Tony Busby is never one to go out easily. He came back swinging in a lengthy rant on his IG page. He called Jay a liar, called the lawsuit desperate, and accused the music mogul of harassing and intimidating his client into dropping the case. If you thought that was all Busby said, then you don't know the man. He started making his own explosive claims, suggesting Jay-Z's power and influence were being used to silence the truth, and he wasn't going to allow that. But is that even possible at this point? They withdrew the suit, didn't they? Meanwhile, Jay-Z and his team are maintaining a completely different story. To them, this wasn't just about clearing his name. This was about cold, hard cash. According to Jay-Z, this entire scandal had cost him $20 million a year in lost business deals. That's not tabloid drama money. That's legacy-changing money. Jay-Z knows for sure Busby, the other lawyers, and Jane Doe didn't have that kind of figure combined, but he just wanted Busby to know what's up. The fight isn't just about reputation anymore. It was about payback. It's important to note that a judge recently ruled on Jay-Z's countersuit. According to the court documents, the judge dismissed Jay-Z's extortion claims, but he kept his defamation claims open. And that means one thing: Jay-Z is headed to trial, unless he came to some sort of agreement with Busby out of court. But will that happen? We'll leave you to decide on that. But what's at stake right now? Everything. If Jay-Z wins, he clears his name once and for all. He could financially ruin Jane Doe's legal team, sending a message that false accusations come at a price. But what if he loses? Well, you know what's going to happen. Honestly, though, the chances of that happening at this point are very slim. Jay-Z has spent decades building an empire, one that goes far beyond music. He's a billionaire businessman, a cultural icon, and a figure who's worked hard to keep his name out of major scandals. A courtroom loss could stick to his name forever, but he rarely fights a battle where he isn't guaranteed a win, though. And let's not forget the bigger picture. With Diddy drowning in nearly 30 lawsuits and facing criminal charges, this case has the potential to pull back the curtain on even bigger industry secrets. So the real question is, what else could come out? There isn't much buzz around Diddy right now, but when his trial gets closer, the tea is bound to start spilling again. At the heart of it all, one question remains: who's really telling the truth? Was Jay-Z an innocent man caught in a web of lies, a victim of a legal setup designed to take him down? Did Jane Doe and her legal team throw his name into the scandal, hoping to pressure him into a quiet settlement? Or is this a case of power and influence at play? Jay-Z has the money, the resources, and the best lawyers in the game. Is he using his empire to silence accusations, erase the scandal, and protect his legacy, no matter the cost? The truth? That depends on whom you believe. But one thing is clear: this battle is far from over. With lawsuits still flying, industry secrets bubbling to the surface, and major players in hip-hop getting dragged into legal trouble, this case could take even wilder turns, and you already know. We'll be watching every twist and turn as it unfolds. So, what do you think? Is Jay-Z in the clear, or is this scandal bigger than we think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're here, leave us a like and subscribe to our channel.